Lightning, Rays, USF, Sun, FSU, Florida, and more. Talk to you this Saturday at 9 a.m. right here on the TAN Talk Radio Network.
This is the TAN Talk Radio Network.
The Tampa Bay Sun have won the USL Super League Championship.
When the Super Bowl ended, the ball would be in the hands of Tom Brady. I don't know why we ever think it won't.
It's time for the Father and Son's Home Team on the TAN Talk Radio Network and Facebook Live. The Home Team is brought to you by Father and Son's Windows and Doors, locally owned and operated with offices in Tampa Bay and Orlando. Visit them on the web at faswd.com and mention the Home Team for special pricing. And now, here he is, the arena voice of the Tampa Bay Lightning and the press box voice of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Paul Porter.
Well, thank you very much. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Home Team. Glad to be back with you after a week off, and thanks to Jason and Marshall for doing an admirable job of filling in for me while I had a week off.
Thank you.
Jason, appreciate it.
We tried.
Well, you did a great job, glad to be back with you. And we've got a lot to talk about today. Want to say hello to Kirk and also to David, and also a number of people that are watching on the show already on Facebook Live. Glad to have you with us as well. And we have a lot to get to today, and really want to drill down on a couple of things in particular. I want to say hello to John and David Alexander listening in from north of the border. Always good to have him with us. I was on his show this past Thursday and enjoyed talking some things with him, and one of which we're going to hit pretty hard today on this program, and that is a potential trade involving the Tampa Bay Lightning. And hang on, Anthony, I know that if you hear this, it's going to ruin your day. The Tampa Bay Lightning and the Edmonton Oilers that would see Connor McDavid in a Lightning uniform next season.
We talked about that last week.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
Marshall brought that up.
It's gotten some traction.
Yes.
And what they're talking about is possibly Braden Point, who is from Western Canada.
Mm-hmm.
So that might be a more logical fit. And Isaac Howard, the Lightning's number one prospect who has not played for them as yet. But both of those two going to Edmonton for Connor McDavid, or as Anthony calls him, Connor McFraud.
Mm-hmm.
I don't necessarily agree with Anthony on that.
No.
I think he's the real deal. And imagine Kucherov and McDavid on the same line.
Well, that's interesting. I would think that they would be asking for a player like Kucherov to give up a player like McDavid.
Well, Point is younger than Kucherov. And they may ask for Kucherov and without Howard. That could be the case. Right. But those are the three names that have been mentioned leaving the Lightning.
Worth looking into for the Lightning. It's a splash. You're getting a guy who. He's one of the best out there, if not the best.
Oh, many have called him the best player in the National Hockey League. So we want to get your thoughts on that. Would you be willing to part with either Nikita Kucherov or Braden Point and Isaac Howard in exchange for McDavid?
You look at it this way: the Lightning obviously have had tremendous success, but the last 3 years. It's ended in a disappointment. Even though they've been in the playoffs, they've made a first-round exit. You have to change something.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's evident. You know, what now? Would it specifically be McDavid? Would he be the answer? Don't know for sure, but it wouldn't be a bad choice.
No,
to have.
But is he worth giving up Braden Point or Nikita Kucherov?
Mm-hmm.
And a guy that is really looked on highly, Isaac Howard, who could be quite a boon for the Lightning.
I mean, how old is McDavid? He's still in his 20s. Right?
Yeah, he's still in his 20s.
Yeah, so, I mean, he's a superstar. You know, we brought in a guy like Jake Gensel last year, still have a good core of players. I would really strongly consider doing that.
Imagine a first line of Nikita Kucherov, Jake Gensel, and Connor McDavid.
Yeah.
Wow.
Very good.
Talk about three talents
Yep.
right there. Matt has researched it. McDavid is 28.
Yeah.
So he's still
Right in
got
his prime
some
of his career.
Yeah, he's still got some years in his tank, where Kucherov is 32. So,
it's interesting. You think back, Edmonton traded Gretzky in a very big, very controversial decision in terms of Edmonton. Of course, they had already won multiple Stanley Cups with Gretzky, where Edmonton came close, but weren't able to do that.
So we'll get your thoughts on that. We'll also talk about in depth the re-signing contract extensions for both Jason Light and Todd Bowles, which means they're going to have the ventriloquist for another 3-4 years, and you'll have to deal with that. But overall, we'll get into that as to what your thoughts are as far as that is concerned. I want to say congratulations to Mike in Atlanta, who has just joined us on Facebook. Mike won the NBA contest. He had the Oklahoma City Thunder. And, boy, you look at that and you wonder, especially if you're Indiana, what could have been. Could they have come back and captured game 7?
Well, it was a great series with kind of an anticlimactic finish because, when you lose one of your best players, Tyrese Halliburton, going down with the Achilles injury, and that just kind of took all the wind out of the sails. The Pacers did still very well. They actually led at halftime, I believe, by 1 point. They hung in there throughout the second half, but, just too much firepower for Oklahoma City. The Thunder, there's a strong chance would have won anyway, even if Indiana had a Halliburton. But still, that made a world of difference when you lose your key player like that.
Well, and you just you see like all of the emotion drained out for Indiana when that happened.
Well, and really the unfortunate thing is it's not only about that game, but the fact that with that type of injury, he's going to miss this upcoming season. That's it just takes longer to come back from.
Yeah.
So that's the real unfortunate thing there. And we saw that too with a player like Jason Tatum with the Celtics. Those are two star players that the NBA is going to be without coming in this upcoming seain.
And the Celtics have pretty much blown up the team. They traded Drew Holiday and Porzingis away this week.
Right.
And they won't have Jason Tatum. So they're no longer the threat in the East that
I think
many teams thought.
From their point of view, they're thinking, wait now till Tatum gets back. Then you start making moves again to redevelop that team. They figure if you're just not going to win a championship without your best player, the likelihood of doing that is not very strong. So
they've almost written off next season.
Exactly.
So that does open the door for our team 70 miles down I-4, the Orlando Magic, who, of course, have brought in Desmond Bain and
about that last
a couple of draft picks this week.
Jace Richardson out of Michigan State and the French player Noah Apenda, I believe. Okay, so we'll see. Yeah,
that'll all come around next October. Look forward to that.
The key with the Magic is health. I think that's what's kept them back the last few years. But they're definitely look like a team on the rise, and if they can stay healthy, I think I saw the odds. They were maybe picked to finish third in the Eastern Conference, or like the third best odds to win the Eastern Conference.
I think that's about right. I think
there.
Cleveland is still the best team,
and then they have the
in
Knicks
the
up
Eastern Conference. The Knicks, under a new coach, who they're going to have remains to be seen. We're going to take a break a little early because we've got Steve Carney coming up. He's going to talk some Rays baseball with us. A lot of things I want to get to with Steve with regards to the Rays. So the home team, the father and son windows and doors home team, will continue. By the way, it was pointed out that Isaac Howard is 21 years old. So do you want to give up a 21-year-old prospect if you are the Lightning? But we'll talk about that throughout the program today. If you want to join us, 727-441-3000, 727-441-3000. More of the father and son window and doors home team coming up on the Tan Talk Radio Network, AM 1340 and 1350, FM 106.1, 102.3, and Facebook
Live.
This is the Tan Talk Radio Network.
For the first time ever, the home team is endorsing a place for all of you fishermen. And the winner is... Betts Fishing Center on Starkey Road, just a half mile south of Ulmerton Road in Largo. Betts, that's Betts, is open 7 days a week from 9 to 6 Monday through Saturday and 9 to 4 on Sunday. Everything you need from clothing to AFCO and skinny water culture to Shimano and Daiwa reels. They also do repair of your equipment. Betts Fishing Center on Starkey Road, just a half mile south of Ulmerton in Largo, and online at customfishing.com.
If you suffered damage from either or both Hurricanes Helene or Milton and are in need of some new windows or a new door, FAS Windows and Doors is the place to turn. Locally owned and operated, they can get you the best possible products at the best possible price. Right now, they're offering a $100 rebate on all windows and a $200 rebate on all doors. Financing is available with no payments, no interest, and no money down for 24 months. Just go to their website, faswd.com. That's faswd.com to schedule an appointment and check out their inventory. It pays to shop local and to go to a company that stands behind both their products and their service. Tell them you heard about them on the Home Team with Paul Porter, and they'll take special care of you. There when you need them, FAS Windows and Doors, faswd.com. Beach Dogs Friday are back this summer. On the last Friday home game of the month, the Clearwater Threshers become their alternate identity, the Clearwater Beach Dogs. Presented by Veterinary Emergency Group. Beach Dog Fridays are dog-friendly, and each dog ticket benefits a local pet charity each month. Bring your pup to play on the berm, eat a hot dog, and maybe meet our bat dog, Lucy May. Dog tickets are available for purchase in person at the Baycare Ballpark box office. All other tickets are available at treasuresbaseball.com. Sooner or later, you're going to need a plumber. It's just a fact of life. Want somebody honest and reliable? The plumber I use is the Bearded Plumber. I've known Thomas since his high school days and now is an established plumber who offers 24-hour-a-day full service because plumbing emergencies don't wait. Keep this number handy. You know you're going to need it. It's 866-882-3273. The Bearded Plumber, 866-882-3273.
Life Builders Christian Counseling Center brings hurting people to wholeness in Christ. Life Builders is a professional counseling center with multiple counselors and locations in Brandon and Tampa. They offer in-person, Zoom, and group sessions, counseling individuals, married couples, children and adolescents, and families. Some of our licensed counselors take most insurances. Call 813-438-5949 or visit lifebuilderscounseling.org. Life Builders can help. 813-438-5949 and at lifebuilderscounseling.org.
Hi, everyone. I'm Paul Porter, voice of the Lightning and host of the Home Team Sports Radio Show. I'm here to tell you about our educational home team, Cambridge Christian School. No longer Tampa Bay's best-kept secret, CCS is the perfect blend of academic rigor and a biblical worldview foundation, serving families for over 60 years. Come see why we are the #1 rated Christian school in Tampa and visit us at ccslancers.com.
Family owned and operated, T&D Golf on West Waters Avenue in Tampa is the place to find everything you need for your golfing experience at affordable prices. Club repair is available as well. As a longtime sponsor of the home team, T&D wants to make sure you get the very best quality at a price you can afford. Open at 4205 West Waters Avenue, half mile west of North Dale Mabry, Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. and Saturdays from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. T&D Golf, making golf affordable.
My favorite restaurant in all of Tampa Bay is J. Alexander's at the corner of Dale, Mabry, and Cypress, just south of I-275 in Tampa. The prime rib is to die for. Steaks are just as mouthwatering, and that's not all. Seafood like salmon, ahai tuna, shrimp, or crab cakes. Don't forget the salads and appetizers like my favorite French onion soup, and top it all off with a homemade dessert. J. Alexander's in Tampa at Dale, Mabry, and Cypress, just south of 275. Open 7 days, 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. Reservations suggested but not necessary.
The Florida State Fairgrounds is home to so much more than just the fair that runs every February. Concerts, trade shows, conferences, and competitions are all just a few of the things you'll find at the Florida State Fairgrounds and Mid-Florida Credit Union Amphitheater all year long. For the very latest information and schedules, visit floridastatefair.com. The Florida State Fair and so much more, all happening at the Florida State Fairgrounds and Mid-Florida Credit Union Amphitheater. We'll see you at the Florida State Fairgrounds.
Now let's get back to the home team with the arena voice of the Tampa Bay Lightning and press box voice of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Paul Porter.
Thank you very much, and welcome back to the Father and Son Windows and Doors home team. And we're very happy to welcome in, I think, a guy who knows the Rays better than anybody, maybe even better than Kevin Cash. No, that might be an exaggeration. But Steve Carney is joining us on the program. Steve, thanks so much. I know it's a busy day for you, taking the time to be with us.
Oh, I was gonna say you were pushing it a little bit with Kevin Cash, but I do appreciate it, Paul.
Well, you know the Rays like nobody else does, and I don't know what to say about last night's game.
It's a throwaway game.
Yeah, you just probably want to forget about it. Up 6-0 and lose 22-8.
You know, Baltimore did to us what the Rays did to them. You think about that, they were up 8-0 that game. The Rays came back and won 12-8. So
yeah, they did it an even bigger way. Yeah.
Right.
But Steve, the Rays are playing some great baseball right now, and it's great to see they're getting contributions from just about everybody.
Yeah, if you look up and down the lineup, Paul, it's been a night and day difference between what we saw the first 4 or 6 weeks of the regular season, when it seemed like there was only like 1 or 2 guys contributing, whether it was Caminero or Jonathan Aranda. I mean, Yandy Diaz has been one of the hottest hitters over the last 4 weeks that you've seen in the league. His runs created is almost 90% above league average. You look at what Caminero has done. He's reached the 20 homer mark. Brandon Lau has not only been healthy, but he has been contributing mightily as well. And that's just the core of it. And it's branched out from there, whether you look at Josh Lowe or Chandler Simpson, who's now back up. And you look at even the catching situation, Danny Jansen and Matt Tice, I think is a big upgrade over what they've had over the last couple of years.
Steve, is there anything that you can point to as a turning point where I mean, if you think back to April and early May, this team was really struggling to score runs, and they were losing game after game at Steinbrenner Field. Can you think of anything that turned them around?
Not really. I think you look at the pitching wise, I think they've even gotten better than they were at the beginning of the year. I mean, you've gotten a complete game from Zach Littell. You had 8 innings from Shane Bos's last time out. This is a team that is leading Major League Baseball in starters innings this year. I mean, we wouldn't have said that, 2 or 3 years ago. We're talking about how nobody had fewer starters innings than Tampa Bay. So I think that it really does start with the exceptional pitching that they've gotten, and that's really calmed the hitting down. They don't feel like they have to score 8 runs in order to win, and that, just trying easier, as Joe Madden used to say, has really paid off for them.
I think the turning point is winning. Getting on the win streak, winning consistently gives everyone the confidence. Now they figure they know they can do it, and they expect to do it. I think it's a psychological thing. Yeah.
But it's the chicken and the egg, which begets what? Is it the hitting that begets the winning streak, or the winning streak that begets the hitting?
The one thing I was going to point to was Caminero. He was not doing a whole lot early in the season, and then all of a sudden he was just on fire. And his defense at third base has really picked up a lot too.
Putting the ball in the air has been huge for Junior. I mean, if he puts the ball on the ground, it's trouble. I mean, he had 16 double plays by the end of May, and that's a bad number to have, because I think the league record is 36. So he was like almost halfway there with like 3/4 of the season to go. So getting the ball in the air has been big for him. Just a little bit of a hand position in his bat in his stance. So he brings his hands down a little bit, so he's able to get through the zone a little quicker. get the ball in the air.
One thing I've noticed, Steve, in watching some games, and it's kind of been a pet peeve of mine, and I want to get your thoughts on it. When a hitter hits the ball in the ground and the shortstop, third base, second base, some of the players really bust it down to first base, and they put some pressure on the infielders that they got to field the ball cleanly, get rid of it quickly, and make an accurate throw. And then there's others that just kind of jog down to first base and don't really put much effort into it. That kind of bothers me. I think, as soon as that ball's in play, you ought to be busting it to first base regardless.
Well, I think that if you look at the guys that kind of do that, it's the catchers. So you kind of understand they're probably not going to beat it out anyway. I know Yandy Diaz has been given the okay to say, okay, if it's, a routine grounder, because he's had the back issues the last couple of years. Brandon Lau is the same way. They both have had back problems and they want to stay in the lineup and healthy as much as they can. So I think those are the two guys that if they're not busting it down, I'm like, all right, whatever. But and the catchers. But other than those four guys, I would tend to agree with you.
Well, you made me feel a little better anyway,
yeah.
Steve.
Yeah. And so, Steve, I was also going to take, the Rays have not always been the most aggressive, nearing the trade deadline in getting, the next piece to get them over the hump. Now they're doing as well as they are here. In a situation like this, do you think they should consider going all out, or if it's a situation where if it ain't broke, don't fix it? They're playing so well. They're right. They're only 1.5 games behind the Yankees for the division lead. Obviously you look towards the postseason, and the thinking is, could they have enough to compete for a championship, or would you look for them to hopefully maybe go out and try to get someone in who could maybe get them over that hump?
Well, most years I would say they might look outside the organization, but this year they've got three pieces I think that could be huge additions that are already in the organization. You look at Joe Boyle, who had a spot start in April. He has been tearing things up at Double-A. I think he could be a piece that ends up as part of their bullpen here in August and September, as they look to try and keep his innings under control. So they may look to put him in the bullpen. He is amazing to watch as a pitcher. Plus, they're going to get Ha-Sung Kim back. That'll definitely boost their lineup, and I think kind of turns Taylor Walls into the super utility guy that I think he works best as. And then, of course, Shane McClanahan. So they've got three pieces they may not even have to spend anything to go get.
When you talk about Taylor Walls and also about the situation at shortstop, you got to talk about Wander Franco, who it was very strange in the Dominican that he was found guilty, but suspended jail sentence.
Right.
So do you think that he is in their plans at all, Steve?
Having not talked to anybody about it, my educated guess would be no. I would assume that because of the guilty verdict, it is technically a felony. They can enact the morality clause that's in the standard player contract and terminate it for cause. And so that would get the Rays out from under I think he's still owed like $156 million on the contract. So I mean, that's a huge number to get out from under. So, but I definitely think that Wander Franco is not only not in their plans, but I would say that his major league career is likely over because he's not going to be able to get a visa to get into the States.
Yeah, very true. Probably not even a MasterCard. But anyway, Steve,
boom, boom.
One thing I've been meaning to ask you, and that is there's been some rumblings. The Rays are having success. Right now, they're a wild card team if the season were to end today, and they're only a little bit behind the Yankees for the division title. And it's not beyond the realm of possibility that this team could make it to the American League Championship Series. maybe even the World Series. And I just cannot picture it being played at Steinbrenner Field. Are you hearing anything? I know they've already talked with Major League Baseball about some possible alternate sites. What do you think? Or should they play at Steinbrenner Field?
I think everybody would love to see these games at Steinbrenner Field because it'll actually be comfortable, temperature-wise. It's not going to be 1,000 degrees at Steinbrenner Field, and people aren't trying to peel themselves out of their seats, which I know has been a major complaint for a lot of these games, especially the day games, that the temperature is so hot with the humidity and you're just feeling so disgusting. I know I've seen the athletics report. I'm sure that Major League Baseball is working on contingencies. Would that be, playing in a different city? I would assume that is something that they're looking at. There are plenty of options that could be open. Would they want to play in Miami, keep the team in Florida? That certainly is a question. There's always talk about, could they play in one of the Texas ballparks if either of those teams are not in the postseason, whether it would be Globe Life Field in Arlington or what used to be Minute Maid Park in Houston. I would think that, they're going to keep all options available, just to see what they might be looking for. Because you think about it, the players get paid a percentage of the gate, and fewer fans means less money, and that means less money for both sides, both for the league and for the players.
Yeah, that's probably the biggest factor of all, right there.
Yeah, we discussed this a little bit last week's show. What's going to happen there? The question is, I'm sure you'd get a big crowd because people want to go to a World Series game. How many of them would be Rays fans, though? Is it really going to be a home field advantage? Probably not. That's the unfortunate thing.
Well, not only that, but correct me if I'm wrong, Steve, the league, Major League Baseball gets a certain allotment of tickets for the World Series, and that would eat up a big number of Steinbrenner Field.
Yeah, I believe Mark Topkin had that number in the Times. I think it's 7,500 tickets. And you think about it, Steinbrenner Field's capacity is only 10,046.
Mm-hmm. Hate to think of what the price of a ticket would be if there's only 2,500 available.
Yeah, I know. And it goes to, and the other thing, the issue, I think, looking at the players from a psychological point of view, if they're used to playing at Steinbrenner Field, at least for this season, and they've been playing much better at home, that having the familiarity of playing on your home ballpark, even if it is just for this season, is a big advantage. It can be a big advantage come playoff time. If suddenly for their, home games, they're going to be playing in another stadium where they very rarely play, does that change? I mean, they've worked very hard to earn the right if, in fact, they do get to the World Series or get deep into the playoffs, and then to have a situation where you're not playing in the field, the stadium that you're comfortable with is a little disappointing.
Yes, I agree completely, and it makes me glad that I'm not in the middle of these negotiations.
Right.
Very true. Steve, just to take that a little step further, do you think this would come into play for the first round of the playoffs, or would they let them have the first round, or if it's a wild card playoff game, let them have that at Steinbrenner Field?
Yeah, if I were the Rays, I would be pushing for the wild card round at least to play at Steinbrenner Field. At least get those games if they are allowed to host. If they find themselves in a position of hosting a wild card series, then I would as the team, and I'm sure that Stu Sternberg is in this mindset. At least give us the wild card round, because you think about it. If you play those games somewhere else, another owner's going to want to get a cut of that money as well. So, I mean, it's less money into my pocket.
Yeah, you wonder what the attendance would be if they, say, went to Miami or Houston or Arlington. not many Rays fans, I don't think, would travel there.
No, that would be absurd. Well, see, and my thinking was this would be only for the World Series. I was just assuming that if throughout the playoffs they're going to be playing at Steinbrenner Field. I would have thought that it would only come into play if they make it all the way to the World Series.
Well,
I think once the league takes over, though, I think that they've got a vested interest in trying to get the largest crowd possible, and whether it's 10,046 at Steinbrenner Field or 15 or 16,000 in Arlington or Houston or Miami or wherever that might be. I think that's a question for the league.
Yeah, I mean, just could you imagine though if the Rays were to make a World Series run, and the fans here really have no chance to go to any of the postseason games. That's just a shame.
Well, I point to the Lightning when they won the Stanley Cup in the bubble in Edmonton.
Different circumstances, though.
Yeah,
I mean, you got a pandemic. That's for safety concerns. They could play the game, even though it's a unique situation. They could play those games at Steinbrenner Field if they wanted to.
Steve,
the most disappointing part about it is the fact that the last league championship game here in Tampa Bay was Game 7 of 2008.
Yeah. Steve, last thing out of me, and that is just you have to remember who the owner of this team is, and how. For now. Yeah, well, he probably will still be the owner, I think, when the playoffs are here.
We're in negotiations there.
But if you're talking Stu Sternberg, and I say Stu and Sternberg with a dollar sign replacing the S, he's going to want as many people in the ballpark wherever it is, whether they're Rays fans or Braves fans or Yankees fans. He wants them all to come with their green dollars or their plastic and buy tickets. That's money in his pocket.
Yeah, money in his pocket from tickets, from merchandise, from concessions, and I do laugh when people say what you said about Stu Sternberg with the dollar signs. All of these guys are billionaires, and they don't get to become billionaires by accident. So,
very true.
And this team does not have a 501c3 designation marked after it. This is a business. This isn't a charity.
You're right. And I always think of what our good friend John Bychek says. It's all about the Quan. So that very much is the case. Steve, I know you've got a game coming up at the top of the hour, so we want to thank you for your time. It's always great to talk Rays baseball with you, and I know you're very involved with the Lightning broadcast as well. We'll look forward to seeing you in the fall, if not sooner, and thanks again for your time today.
Yeah, I was going to say, we've got 60 some odd days to training camp.
Yeah. It comes around fast. That's for sure.
It does. That's for sure.
All right. Thank you, Steve.
Thank you, Steve.
Really appreciate it.
Paul. See you guys.
Okay. All right. Some good insight there from Steve Carney.
Very much so.
And he does know the Rays inside and out. Let's go to the phone lines and bring in Donald next. Hello, Donald. You're on the home team.
Hey, good morning, Paul. Welcome back.
Thank you. Good to be back with you.
Yeah, Jason and Marshall did a fine job last Saturday. I was out.
Did our best.
They are terrific. I'm starting to feel like there's no need for me to come in. Those guys can handle it just fine.
No, we still need you.
Yes.
It's still the the voice of the Paul Porter.
Well, thank you. Appreciate that.
I appreciate the I got the gift cards and everything for the NHL contest. So thank you so much for that.
Yeah, the favorites won in both cases. In both cases, the Florida Panthers coming out with the win, and the Oklahoma City Thunder coming out with the win.
Yeah.
But that's why we do the contest the way we do it. That's exactly why. If you say, okay, pick a team, the first team's gone are going to be the favorites. So that way we try and make it fair.
Absolutely. No, I agree with how you do it. It's cool because, it's a lottery. It's a drawing,
Yeah. Yeah. And it gives people a reason to root for a team and follow a NBA or NHL playoffs all the way through, as long as your team is there. And of course, same thing with college basketball. Right. We make that the same way.
Yeah, and Liz had she was in that, and she never follows sports. Were very rare, and she was actually following the teams.
Good.
Her team. So that worked out cool.
Yeah.
Too.
We had a question for you, Donald, on Facebook Live. How about that?
All right. I'm in my garage working.
Okay.
So
well, a person would like to know if you've ever gone to Honeymoon Island to fish.
I have, actually. Yes. I launched at Dunedin Causeway. All right. Go under the little bridge. And I'm on the backside, the bay side of Honeymoon Island. And there's some great fishing back there. Redfish, snook, trout. So, yeah.
Okay. Well, you've made it to the big time when you're getting questions on Facebook Live for you. So, but anyway, Donald, I want to let you know at 10:15 today, Betts Fishing Center, Jesse Wright is going to be joining us, and we'll look forward to talking to him. And that's coming up at 10:15 today.
Oh, very cool. So I'll be listening. I got to put my stuff away. I've got to go pick up my son-in-law from the airport today. He's flying in, and then I'm flying out to get my grandson Henry. He'll be here for 3 weeks, so I'm excited to have him. Yeah,
I bet you'll be stopping by Alessi Bakery too, huh?
Oh, of course we are.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
I knew you wouldn't miss that. Well, Donald, thanks so much. Good having you on the program, and congratulations on winning the NBA contest or the NHL contest.
Yeah. So, the Rays losing last night. I think the Orioles, they're a tough team to on the Rays, but it's unfortunate.
Well, they probably said, "Hey, look what these guys did to us down in Tampa. Let's return the favor."
Of course, it's funny. The Orioles they're having a rough. They're actually at the bottom of the AL East right now.
Yeah.
So looking up at the other teams, but hopefully the Rays will bounce back and can win the series. It's just that's the one good thing about a game like that. The Orioles can't take those runs with them to the other games. It's one game. If the Rays can win the next two, win the series. Keep doing that, and they're going to be just fine.
There you go.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Donald.
Guys take care. And happy 4th of July.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Same to you, Donald. Thank you.
Absolutely. Want to mention, Donald mentioned 4th of July. We will be here on July 5th, the day after the 4th of July. Mm-hmm. So if you're still recovering from your 4th of July celebrations, join us Saturday morning on the 5th.
That's right.
Kind of get yourself back on your feet. Let's get one more call in before we hit our next break. Let's go to Lee in Zephyr Hills. Hello, Lee. You're on the home team.
Good morning. Good morning. How's everyone?
Doing good. Thanks for holding on.
No problem. Paul, I think you're leaving the Magic at the wrong time.
Yeah. Unfortunately, it wasn't my choice, but I'm still going to root for them. I still want to see them be successful, and I think they have a chance. As Jason mentioned, I think the key for them is to stay healthy. That's what's going to determine whether they're. I think they could be easily be a top 4 team in the Eastern Conference. I
think they could win the East next year.
Could be, yeah.
I like the trade they made. That I think that'll help. That was a very good move.
You don't think they overpaid, huh?
No, I don't think so at all. I think they got a superstar.
And again, what you have to remember is 1 or 2 of those first-round picks they gave up were for the Memphis Grizzlies to pick up the contract of Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, and that freed up the salary cap space that they could bring a Desmond Bane in.
Right, and I'd love to see the Edmonton player here in Tampa.
Yeah.
Oh, that would be nice.
What would you be willing to give up, Lee?
Oh, I'd give up Braden Point. I don't know how many I don't know where they've given away all their draft choices.
That's not an option.
It's going to cost you a first round sometime, and another
Isaac Howard
probably
is a
probably a top prospect. Yeah, and a top prospect.
Yeah. But Would you give up Point or Kucherov? Which one?
Oh, I'd give up Point.
Okay.
You can't give up Kucherov.
Well,
because for one thing, he's under contract. I don't know if Point's under contract.
Well, Kucherov also has a no-trade clause, so he would have to approve a trade to Edmonton, and that might feel to him like going to Siberia. So,
I agree.
I can hear him say, "Niet, niet."
Niet, right?
Yeah, he doesn't say much, but that's probably the first word out of his mouth. That's for sure.
But the way he passes, he might miss the airplane and go to Montreal or something like that. The way he misses them.
Yeah, that's for sure. Well, it's going to be an interesting summer and something to keep an eye on because it's been mentioned by more than one source. And Connor McDavid did not give a ringing endorsement to coming back to Edmonton.
Right.
So he is interested.
And with the success the Lightning have had, this is a destination place. It has become a destination for so many players.
And I talked with my brother and David Alexander this week on his program. The exchange rate right now, and you would probably know this too, Lee, is
37%.
Okay. All right. So it's right there. What do you get? Like 63 cents on the dollar or something like that? Canadian
Yeah. When I go up there, I give them $100 at the bank and they give me $136, something like that.
When you multiply that and add a few more zeros to it, Connor McDavid may be licking his chops at coming to Florida, where there's also no state income tax.
Right, and I think their window is closed. I think Edmonton's window's closed.
Mm-hmm. Now, it's something to keep an eye on. It really is over the summer, and we'll see what happens come training camp in September.
And I'm leaving tomorrow to go north of the border, so I'll be gone. I'll be gone till November. So
well,
have a great trip.
Our phone number works from Canada, Lee. So
yeah, I know. I'll be calling. I'll still be keeping in touch.
Please do. Please stay in touch.
All right. Have a good summer, guys.
All right. Thank you.
Too.
All right. Yeah. It's almost like we're saying goodbye, but he'll be calling.
He'll be calling. Yep.
We know that for sure.
It'll be in cooler weather, though.
Yeah. Speaking of my brother, Patrick, I think he's watching on Facebook Live right now. I want to say good morning to him and thanks for tuning in. He has a show on 4680q.com, and it's very easy to find. Just Google 4680q.com, and it'll take you right to the website and click on the Listen Live button, and you can hear all the shows that are on there. David Alexander does the show Thursday mornings from 10:30 to 11:30. I don't think he's on this Thursday because of all the holidays, but he's normally on Thursdays from 10:30 until 11:30 in the morning. It's a good show to check out. We're going to take a break, then we'll come back with more of the Father and Son's Windows and Doors home team here on the Tan Talk Radio Network. AM 1340 and 1350, FM 106.1, 102.3, and Facebook
Live.
This is the Tan Talk Radio Network.
The Palm Pavilion on Clearwater Beach is back and better than ever. Beautiful sunsets on sparkling Clearwater Beach, relaxing times with a wide variety of menu items, from sandwiches, seafood, landlubbers' favorites, desserts, and your favorite alcoholic and non-alcoholic drinks is what you'll find at the Palm Pavilion. Located at 10 Bay Esplanade on Clearwater Beach, they're saying there's no place like this place any place else, so this must be the place truly applies. Come and enjoy a relaxing lunch, dinner, or drinks at one of Tampa Bay's gems that visitors from all over the world make a destination. The Palm Pavilion, 10 Bay Esplanade, right on Clearwater Beach. Visit them and check out their menu on the web at palmpavilion.com. That's palmpavilion.com. If you suffered damage from either or both Hurricanes Helene or Milton and are in need of some new windows or a new door, FAS Windows and Doors is the place to turn. Locally owned and operated, they can get you the best possible products at the best possible price. Right now, they're offering a $100 rebate on all windows and a $200 rebate on all doors. Financing is available with no payments, no interest, and no money down for 24 months. Just go to their website, faswd.com. That's faswd.com to schedule an appointment and check out their inventory. It pays to shop local and to go to a company that stands behind both their products and their service. Tell them you heard about them on the Home Team with Paul Porter, and they'll take special care of you. There when you need them, FAS Windows and Doors, faswd.com. One of the questions I'm often asked is, how do you do it? With my busy schedule of working for the Lightning, Buccaneers, and the Home Team, I need to be in very good health. One person I have to thank for keeping me in good health for years is Dr. Troy Stirk of Stirk Family Medicine. He's helped me keep my blood pressure in check, my heart running smoothly, and an overall healthy feeling that is confirmed by my lab results. If you're looking for a good family physician, I heartily recommend Dr. Troy Stirk at Stirk Family Medicine. You can reach his office at 813-264-7922. That's 813-264-7922. I'll tell you, Dr. Stirk is fantastic, and I'm sure you'll feel the same way if you become one of his patients. So now that you know my secret to staying healthy with a busy schedule, it's your turn. Call Dr. Troy Stirk at Stirk Family Medicine, 813-264-7922. This is Paul Porter. You know, with the schedule I keep working for the Lightning and Buccaneers, a good night's sleep is a must for me. That's why I'm happy to tell you about the Original Mattress Factory. Their mattresses are hand-built right here in Tampa Bay with the highest quality at a very reasonable price. They aren't like these other mattress companies that'll jack their prices up every holiday and then do a so-called super discount during their so-called sale. You actually end up paying more than what the mattress is worth. The secret is, with OMF, you're getting factory direct pricing and eliminating the middleman retailer. There's no high-pressure salespeople either. OMF is employee-owned, and they make it all about you. Double-sided mattresses, and they even email you when it's time to flip your mattress. Stop by their factory on Almerton Road in Clearwater and see for yourself, or visit one of their stores in Tampa or Brandon. There's nothing like a good night's sleep, and you'll get it with the Original Mattress Factory, and you'll get it for less. The Original Mattress Factory.
If you fishermen and ladies need anything for your fishing enjoyment, you'll find it at Betts Fishing Center on Starkey Road, just half a mile south of Almerton and Largo. Rods and reels by Shimano and Daiwa, frozen bait for saltwater fishing, clothing from Avco and Skinny Water Culture, Costa Del Mar sunglasses, and more. Visit them online at customfishing.com. Open 7 days a week from 9 to 6 Monday through Saturday and 9 to 4 on Sunday. Betts Fishing Center on Starkey Road, just half a mile south of Almerton in Largo.
Did you know that Cambridge Christian School Athletic Department was honored with the Kerry McDonald Award as the 2A Athletic Program of the Year for the second consecutive year? The CCS Lancers have had 71 district championships, 21 regional championships, 5 state championships, and 37 Final Four teams. Over 200 of our student athletes have signed to play at the college level, and one has joined an NFL team. Visit us today at ccslancers.com.
Time for more of the Home Team. Here again are Paul Porter and Jason Alessi.
Thank you very much, and welcome back to the Father and Son Windows and Doors Home Team. Our good friend John Bychek was unable to hold through the break, but he promises to call back in the second hour, so we'll hold you to that promise, John. I want to hear from what you have to say about it. We quoted him earlier as saying it's all about the Quan, and when it comes down to where the Rays will be playing as far as their playoff games are concerned. But Jason, I wanted to get your thoughts on the extension of contracts for both Jason Light and Todd Bowles that the Buccaneers did this week.
Well, it's the result of the team. The team has done extremely well over the last several years, and so therefore those that are in charge, a general manager and head coach, I think naturally will get rewarded for that. And I think that's the right thing to do. You know, it's really it's alarming to me to see the number of coaches that have been fired after the teams do incredibly well, like a Tom Thibodeau. Mm-hmm. You take the Knicks to the Eastern Conference Finals, the best that team has done in a very, very long time. And how was he rewarded? Goodbye.
Yeah,
it's something is very wrong with that. I know Todd Bowles tends to come under criticism from some people. The bottom line is this. He's been the head coach for 3 seasons now. The Bucs have won 3 division titles, made the playoffs. They won a playoff game in emphatic fashion after the 2023 season. They've done remarkably well, and I think they're expected to do very well again this upcoming season. And Jason Light, who's been with the team as the GM since 2014, I think the results speak for themselves. He's drafted well. He's made the right calls in terms of bringing in free agents. And the Bucs, the Bucs are currently on the best stretch of success they've ever had in franchise history. They've made the playoffs 5 consecutive years.
And I think this year it's probably the most optimistic looking ahead to this year that it's been in a long time.
Yeah.
And we'll in a future show go through the schedule and pick how we think it's going to come out. I think you and Marshall did that already.
Yes. But the thing is, again, Todd Bowles, he is a well-respected coach. He's a veteran coach. I mean, you keep in mind it was his defense that shut down the Kansas City offense in Super Bowl 55.
Mm-hmm.
And, the players like him. They respect him. He's done a very good job. And I mean, maybe he's not the most emotional or passionate in terms of, you say that, but again, neither was Bill Belichick, and neither are others. The results on the field speak for themselves. The team has done very well, and so I'm glad that Bowles and Light are both getting contract extensions.
Now the people will be there hiding under a rock that if they go to 1-3 this year, the first 4 games, everybody's going to be saying, "Oh, they shouldn't have extended them." Now look what we got.
But you look at how the last couple of seasons have gone. They've jumped out to good starts, and they went on a bad stretch, and they fell below 500. But they responded. You got to play out the full season. They finished the season strong, won their division, and made the playoffs. So there might be some earlier midseason struggles, but you got to let the whole thing play out.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I was more than happy to see Jason Light was extended, and I think Todd Bowles deserves a contract extension as well. So we'll see how that goes.
You want to be an organization where you take care of your people, you treat your people well. If the team has had success, you reward that success. When you start becoming an organization that, the team you win, but it's not good enough. So we're going to always think about the mindset of them, who might the next coach be. They'll say, well, geez, if I don't win a championship or come extremely close to it every single year, I could be on the hot seat. That's not the way things are supposed to be. I don't know.
Knicks.
I don't know when it started that. I heard maybe it was Tom Izzo said, it used to be as coaches, you got fired for not winning. Now you get fired for not winning enough.
Speaking of Tom Izzo, he was very complimentary about the Magic selecting Chase Richardson.
Yeah.
So we'll see how that works out as well.
The player, he's well coached. He's well seasoned. If he could come from that program, he's going to be as most prepared for the next level as any player.
Yeah. The son of Jason Richardson.
That's right. Yeah.
Who played for the Magic for a bit. Well, it's time for our top of the hour trivia question here on the Father and Son Windows and Doors home team. And the question we have for you, and you can answer this on Facebook Live or you can call in, is back in 1997, we started the home team 28 years ago. Hard to believe, just about 28 years. And there was one sponsor that really kind of ignited the whole thing, that gave us the idea of doing the show, the home team, when I was terminated, as well as the entire staff at an all-sports radio station. We want to know from you, who was that very first sponsor of the home team back in 1997? I asked both Matt and Jason about it. They couldn't come up with it, but maybe you can. When did that start? Back in October of 1997. Our very first home team show. Who was the sponsor of the home team, the only sponsor in 1997? More of the Father and Son Windows and Doors home team coming up with hour number 2 here on the Tan Talk Radio Network, AM 1340, 1350, FM 106.1, 102.3, and Facebook Live.
WTAN, Clearwater.
FM 106.1.
WDCF, Dade City.
FM 102.3.
Listen.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Progressive Insurance.
I'm Michael Wallace. Iran is holding a state funeral for dozens of military commanders, nuclear scientists, and others killed in the Israeli airstrikes. CBS's Imtiaz Tayyab is in Tehran.
Thousands of Iranians took to the streets in the heart of the Iranian capital for the funerals of the head of the Revolutionary Guard, top military leaders, nuclear scientists, and small children killed in Israeli strikes. The fury at the U.S. and Israel was unmistakable. A fury we also saw a day earlier when we went to the University of Tehran. It was the first Friday prayers after 12 days of war with Israel ended in a fragile ceasefire.
President Trump has said he would bomb Iran's nuclear facilities again if Iran tries to restart its weapons program. President Trump is optimistic a peace deal to end the war in Gaza may be in the works.
President Trump says soon, very soon.
We think within the next week we're going to get a ceasefire.
Speaking in the Oval Office, the president said the war in Gaza is not the U.S.'s war, but as he put it, we have to help, funding food deliveries to the Palestinian civilians.
You know, we're the ones that are getting it there. Some of it's being taken by some bad people.
Israel declared war on Hamas in Gaza following the October 7th attack against Israeli civilians. Linda Kenyon, CBS News, the White House.
The president calls yesterday's Supreme Court decision limiting the power of federal judges to grant nationwide injunctions against his executive orders a major win.
We can now promptly file to proceed with numerous policies that have been wrongly enjoined on a nationwide basis. And some of the cases we're talking about would be ending birthright citizenship, which now comes to the fore.
CBS's Erica Brown tells us the fight against that ban continues.
Officials in California, one of 22 states that filed suit against the president's executive order on birthright citizenship, predict an eventual legal victory.
The court's decision says nothing either way about the merits of birthright citizenship.
That's San Francisco City Attorney David Chu. CBS's Christian Benavidez reports the Senate will meet in a rare Saturday session today to vote on President Trump's big budget bill.
Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent met with Senate Republicans to try to quell concerns that President Trump's spending bill adds too much to the deficit. That may not be enough to convince fiscal conservatives, such as Kentucky's Republican Senator Rand Paul.
This bill has about $400 to $500 billion worth of new spending. And why would you put forward a bill that has $500 billion worth of new spending if your goal was to fix the deficit?
Republicans hope to pass the budget bill by July 4th. This is CBS News.
Sponsored by Progressive. Protect your auto, home, and business with Progressive and get 24/7 coverage. See if you can save at Progressive.com. That's Progressive.com.
Is enough.
Is enough.
And if you've heard enough of the conservative right-wing agenda that overwhelms the Tampa Bay AM radio band, won't you join me, Ed Golly, every Thursday morning at 10 o'clock for The Voice of Reason?
No spin, no alternative facts. Just refreshing, straight talk concerning the events of the day.
That's Thursday, 10 a.m., the TAN Talk Radio Network.
Do you have questions after being injured in a car accident or injured because of someone's negligence? Do you feel overwhelmed or uncertain about the next steps after being injured in a crash? The personal injury attorneys at Peronick, Caulfield, Averill, and Noyes have been helping their injured clients since 1955 and are now on this radio station to provide guidance to you. Listen to FLA Law each Tuesday from 5 to 6 p.m. Let their decades of experience help you and your family. Offices in Clearwater, non-attorney spokesman.
This is radio program Spectrum 360. This is Mark Skogman
and TK Weeks.
Hosts of Spectrum 360 on the 6 stations of the TAN Talk Radio Network. Spectrum 360 is a talk radio program that features politics, the arts, and popular culture from a progressive point of view. Spectrum 360 broadcasts for 1 hour weekly on Monday nights at 11 p.m. Eastern Time and anytime via webcast at Spectrum360media.com. Remember, Spectrum 360, news, politics, and arts from a creative and progressive point of view.
Hey Tampa Bay, Tammy here with the BCC Coupon Book. Tune in during drive time 5 to 6 p.m. on the TAN Talk Radio Network to hear the BCC Coupon Book radio show. We feature local small business owners with great deals for many services and restaurants in our listening area. And anyone interested in branding your business and getting your name out there, give us a call at the BCC Coupon Book, 727-804-6082. Have a great day, Tampa Bay.
That's the BCC Coupon Book, Wednesdays 5 to 6 on the TAN Talk Radio Network.
Caregivers find the support they need on Connecting Caregivers Radio with Linda Burhans, the gal who cares for the caregiver. Heard every Friday from 1 to 2 p.m., Linda and her caring and knowledgeable guests will bring you education, information, and resources, as well as a shoulder for caregivers. That's Connecting Caregivers Radio with Linda Burhans, the gal who cares for the caregiver, where you can find help and hope every Friday from 1 to 2 p.m. right here on the TAN Talk Radio Network. Ain't it good?
This is Paul Porter, the arena voice of the Tampa Bay Lightning and press box voice of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, inviting you to join me and Jason Alessi for the home team every Saturday from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. here on the TAN Talk Radio Network and Facebook Live, the home team with Paul Porter. Special guests, prizes, and your phone calls about the Bucs, Lightning, Rays, USF, Sun, FSU, Florida, and more. Talk to you this Saturday at 9 a.m. right here on the TAN Talk Radio Network.
This is the TAN Talk Radio Network.
The Tampa Bay Sun have won the USL Super League Championship.
When the Super Bowl ended, the ball would be in the hands of Tom Brady. I don't know why we ever think it won't.
It's time for the Father and Son's home team on the TAN Talk Radio Network and Facebook Live. The home team is brought to you by Father and Son's Windows and Doors, locally owned and operated with offices in Tampa Bay and Orlando. Visit them on the web at faswd.com and mention the home team for special pricing. And now, here he is, the arena voice of the Tampa Bay Lightning and the press box voice of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Paul Porter.
Thank you very much, and welcome to hour number 2 of the Father and Son Windows and Doors home team here on the TAN Talk Radio Network. And we've got a tough trivia question out there. Mm-hmm. And right now, Jason, the standings as far as the month of June, there's 2 people in a dead heat that have gone 3 for 3 with the trivia questions, and this is the deciding one, and neither one of them have gotten it. We've had guesses of the Palm Pavilion, T&D Golf, both good guesses.
Yep.
You had a guess of
the Spaghetti Factory,
Spaghetti Warehouse,
Yep.
which was a very early sponsor. Burger Monger has been guessed.
Yep.
That is not correct. So I'm going to give out a couple of hints to try and make it a little bit easier and give you a better shot at it. I will tell you that the very first sponsor of the home team is no longer a sponsor. In fact, unfortunately, they are no longer with us on this earth. But and they also, this first sponsor was a sponsor of both the Tampa Bay Lightning and the Tampa Bay Storm. They came to sponsor both of those organizations, and they were my first sponsor back in 1997. So there's a couple of hints for you, and we'll see if anybody can get it. It's a tough question because not many people were listening to the very first show in October of 1997. I'll tell you a funny story about that. We went to the studio. It was DBN or BDN, I think it was, station out of Brandon, 760 on the AM dial. We went to the studio, the sponsor and I did, to do our first show together, and the door was totally locked and nobody there. And we called the people that we made the deal with, and they said, "Oh, we thought you were starting next Saturday, not today."
Inauspicious debut.
Yeah, very. In fact, it wasn't even on the air.
Yeah.
So what happened was the sponsor and I went over to Bob Evans and had breakfast together and said, "Well, we'll try it again next Saturday," and sure enough, the board operator was there next Saturday. The station was open, and we did our very first show back in October of 1997.
Communication is a very underrated thing. People take for granted.
Yeah.
Being able to communicate on things like that.
Yeah, we've had a guess of Mahoney's, which is a good guess. Chick-fil-A, a good guess. ABC Pizza, that's a good guess as well. But again, think of it this way. They sponsored the Tampa Bay Lightning and the Tampa Bay Storm. So this sponsor had a few dollars that they could spend. It wasn't a small operation, not a ma and pop operation. And there were plenty of stories that went behind this organization as well. So see if anybody can pick it up from that. What's going on at Alessi Bakery this week?
Well, we've got our specials remaining this week through today and tomorrow are our chocolate fudge cake squares, buy one, get one free. The Boston cream cake squares, buy one, get one free. And our snickerdoodle cookies, also buy one, get one free. Those are this week's special. And then starting next week on Monday, the 30th, we're going to have our assorted cake pops, buy one, get one. The banana masu cake, buy one, get one free. And oatmeal raisin cookies are buy one, get one free.
Okay.
So those will be great specials starting next week on Monday. And, last week we're doing a lot of 4th of July themed items, red, white, and blue, cookies, cupcakes, and cakes.
Okay.
So we've got that going on. Of course, the 4th of July will be Friday, and we'll actually be closing a little earlier that day. I believe usually around 2 or 3 o'clock. I believe on the 4th of July. But, we've always got a wide variety of pastries, guava turnovers, apple turnovers, different cookies, brownies, eclairs, slices of carrot cake, tiramisu. We've got a wonderful deli with a variety of sandwiches, Cuban sandwiches, burgers, Reubens, Philly cheesesteaks, Italian subs, and hot entrees, chicken and yellow rice, roast pork, and picadillo. Our famous scacciata pizza, our cold meat pizza, is probably still our best seller. And so we've got a little bit of everything for everyone at Alessi Bakery.
We had someone ask, and I thought it was a very good question. Let's say someone is coming in to buy a cake for 4th of July.
Right.
Would it be fresher to get there on the morning of the 4th, or would it be the same cake that you could purchase on the 3rd?
You all of the cakes are fresh. We make them on a regular basis, so it would probably be just as fresh. And we keep them refrigerated. A lot of the cakes have a shelf life of close to a week. You can go like 5 days, sometimes 5-6 days, and so it lasts a long time. You could always order in advance any cake for a specific day, but if you keep it refrigerated, it'll last for several days.
So it isn't necessary to be there right before closing on the 4th to get the cake.
No. Because we rotate the cakes. We sell a lot of them on a regular basis, and they'll all be just as fresh.
All right. Location.
Yeah, we're at 2909 West Cypress Street, in between MacDill and Armenia. And again, we're open 7 days a week. Monday through Friday, we're open from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Again, this upcoming Friday for the 4th of July, we'll be closing a little earlier. I think usually around 3 p.m., 2 p.m. or 3 p.m. on this Friday for the 4th. And then Saturdays, we're open 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. and Sundays 9 a.m. to 4 p.m.
We've had some good guesses here. Mel's Hot Dogs was guessed. That was an early sponsor. I believe they were like my third sponsor on the program. We also had a guess of Hooters. And no, Hooters has never been a sponsor of the home team. But not Mel's Hot Dogs either. So, again, they were a sponsor of the Lightning. They were a sponsor of the Storm,
yeah.
And let me say this. Here's a huge hint. They have grown immensely from what they were when they were a sponsor of mine to where they are today. Probably a tenfold growth as far as how big they are today. And I think everybody in Tampa Bay has heard of them throughout the area. So we'll see if anybody can get it from that. Let's real quick before we hit a break, go to Mike. He's calling in from Atlanta now, his new home. Yep. Congratulations on winning the NBA contest, Mike.
Yeah. Hey, Paul. Thanks. I wish I could brag about it, but I think I just picked a number, didn't I?
That's it. But sometimes it's better to be lucky than good.
That's right.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Well, thanks. See, I was down in Tampa last week for a little while, so it was great to visit. And thanks for the gifts.
Okay, I'm glad they made it up that way already. So absolutely, I think those. Of course, you're right there in the hometown of Chick-fil-A, so you should have no problem with those.
Well, I appreciate it, and they haven't come yet, but I was just thanking you when they do come.
Okay,
so.
All right. Well, they're good till the end of September, I think, so you can use them anytime that's convenient, and I'm sure they'll take them in Atlanta.
Yeah, great. I appreciate that. So, yeah, so everything else going well?
Yep, doing good. Busy show today. We've had a number of people calling through, and I don't know if you knew this, Mike, but we're asking people what was the first ever sponsor of the home team in 1997 when we started the program.
And I was thinking Chick-fil-A be my only guess.
Yeah, no, that's not it either. But that's a good guess based on the clue of they've really grown probably tenfold.
Mm-hmm.
Chick-fil-A has probably grown 100-fold since back then. But no, it's not Chick-fil-A. Not Chick-fil-A.
Okay. Well, great. Well, anything else on any other questions that are hanging out there that I need to answer for you?
Yeah, as a matter of fact, should the Rays make the playoffs, and it's starting to look like there's a good chance they will, and maybe get even to the American League Championship Series or the World Series, what do you think of where they would play the games?
Yeah.
That's a great question because they can't obviously, in Tampa, not in that smaller stadium.
You wouldn't think so.
Yeah. Well,
No,
they could. I think it would be kind of unique to have this, to have it there. But I understand.
The three-fourths of the tickets that go to the league.
I understand. Yeah. So that's not a good thing. But then the question is, how many Rays fans would you get if it's in a stadium in another city in another state?
Well,
I don't know.
Could need to stay south though, right? Because you're going to want to stay in the weather because of that time of year if you can, right?
Yeah, you would probably look at Miami.
That would be my best guess there, because also, again, they have the retractable roof stadium.
And it's in Florida still.
And it's in Florida. So to me, if they were going to do it in a different place, that would be the most likely scenario.
Do you think many people in Miami would buy tickets for it?
I don't know. If
they're a front-running town, they might like to go see the World Series.
It's hard to say. I mean, certainly for the World Series, yes. For the other playoff games, who knows?
Yeah. And the question of how many Tampa Bay fans would travel to Miami to see them.
Yeah, but they'd have a better chance of traveling there, it being an in-state than into other places, like if it's in Texas or somewhere.
Yeah, I agree. Well, Mike, always good to hear from you. We appreciate it. Thanks so much for your loyalty to the home team.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
And keep listening. We'll announce what was the first sponsor. We won't keep you waiting on that. But thanks so much, Mike.
Good, so I can sleep tonight. Thanks.
Yeah, there you go. Well, here's another clue before we hit a break, and then Anthony will join us on the other side, as well as Jesse Wright from Betts Fishing Center. Here's another clue. If you were trying to guess it, I bet you'd be right. If you're trying to guess it and you were thinking in this direction, I bet you'd be correct. That I think is a pretty large hint there.
How many more clues before they have to have a new question, a new trivia question?
Oh no, we'll establish it eventually.
All
Here.
right.
We'll get it. More of the home team coming up. The father and son windows and doors home team here on the Tan Talk Radio Network. Again, think of those clues. They sponsored the Lightning and the Tampa Bay Storm. And if you were thinking along these directions, you could probably bet on it. More of the home team coming up here on the Tan Talk Radio Network, AM 1340 and 1350, FM 106.1, 102.3, and Facebook
Live.
This is the Tan Talk Radio Network.
If you suffered damage from either or both Hurricanes Helene or Milton and are in need of some new windows or a new door, FAS Windows and Doors is the place to turn. Locally owned and operated, they can get you the best possible products at the best possible price. Now, right now, they're offering a $100 rebate on all windows and a $200 rebate on all doors. Financing is available with no payments and no interest and no money down for 24 months. Just go to their website, faswd.com. That's faswd.com to schedule an appointment and check out their inventory. It pays to shop local and to go to a company that stands behind both their products and their service. Tell them you heard about them on the Home Team with Paul Porter, and they'll take special care of you. They're there when you need them. FAS Windows and Doors, faswd.com.
Much like the weather, your life could change at the drop of a hat. Don't be caught unprepared. You don't know what will happen tomorrow, but no matter what happens to you, you can make sure your loved ones are provided for with a life insurance policy from Auto Owners Insurance. Meet with a local independent agent and secure a policy now to rest easy knowing you're protecting the ones you love. Visit Vermost Insurance in Tampa Bay today at vermost.com. Looking for a fun, affordable Saturday night out with the family? Check out the excitement of minor league baseball and then stay for an amazing fireworks display over Baycare Ballpark after Saturday night Clearwater Threshers home games. Whether you're hanging out with our mascot Finley or getting an autograph from your favorite minor league players, there's always something fun to do for everyone in the family. So go to threshersbaseball.com to get your Saturday night tickets now. And don't miss the best fireworks in Tampa Bay.
Folks, let me tell you about a gem of a restaurant in Carrollwood. It's Hank's Place, where you'll find some of the best barbecue, catfish, wings, sausage, gator, shrimp, and a whole lot more. Their meats are dry rubbed and slowly smoked. All of your favorite sides, too, from baked beans to collard greens to mac and cheese to onion rings. Are you hungry yet? Discover why Hank's Place at 8546 Northdale Maybury, just 100 yards north of Waters Avenue, is a place that locals have known about for years. Hey, would a guy like me lie to you about food? Hank's Place, a place to hang your hat and lick your fingers.
This is Paul Porter. You know, with the schedule I keep working for the Lightning and Buccaneers, a good night's sleep is a must for me. That's why I'm happy to tell you about the Original Mattress Factory. Their mattresses are hand-built right here in Tampa Bay with the highest quality at a very reasonable price. They aren't like these other mattress companies that'll jack their prices up every holiday and then do a so-called super discount during their so-called sale. You actually end up paying more than what the mattress is worth. The secret is, with OMF, you're getting factory direct pricing and eliminating the middleman retailer. There's no high-pressure salespeople either. OMF is employee-owned, and they make it all about you. Double-sided mattresses, and they even email you when it's time to flip your mattress. Stop by their factory on Almerton Road in Clearwater and see for yourself, or visit one of their stores in Tampa or Brandon. There's nothing like a good night's sleep, and you'll get it with the Original Mattress Factory, and you'll get it for less. The Original Mattress Factory.
For the first time ever, the Home Team is endorsing a place for all of you fishermen. And the winner is Betts Fishing Center on Starkey Road, just half a mile south of Almerton Road in Largo. Betts, that's Betts, is open 7 days a week from 9 to 6, Monday through Saturday, and 9 to 4 on Sunday. Everything you need, from clothing by AFCO and Skinny Water Culture to Shimano and Daiwa Reels. They also do repair of your equipment. Betts Fishing Center on Starkey Road, just half a mile south of Almerton in Largo. Online at customfishing.com.
When you talk about ice rink development in West Central Florida, one name stands alone: Iceman Development, LLC. Gordy Zimmerman, president and founder of Iceman Development, has played an integral part in the construction of the Ice Sports Forum in Brandon, the training home of the three-time Stanley Cup champion Tampa Bay Lightning, and the Advent Health Center Ice Complex, a multi-million-dollar facility boasting 150,000 square feet, and ranked the top indoor ice rink facility by both the USA Today and Yelp. Iceman Development is currently involved in creating yet another outstanding ice rink facility in Trinity and Pasco County. Iceman's company mission is to build community projects that impact the area both in quality of life and economic growth. For more information, visit icemandevelopment.com. That's Iceman with two N's, development.com.
Thanks for staying with us. Now more of the Home Team with Paul Porter and Jason Alessi.
Welcome back to the Home Team, the father and son windows and doors home team. And we'll get to we did get some correct answers finally on that, and we'll get to that in just a second. But before we do that, let's go out to our good friends at Betts Fishing Center and talk with Jesse Wright. Jesse, thanks so much for joining us on a busy Saturday morning.
Good morning, guys. How's everybody doing?
We're doing
Very
good.
well.
I have to ask you, the tornado that went through Almerton and Belcher, that area, that literally picked a house up off the ground while a woman was still in it and dropped it back down after it was on its side for a couple of minutes. I don't know if you saw this on the news or not.
Toto, we're not in Kansas anymore.
Yeah,
I
no.
was not aware that there was somebody in the house.
Yeah, there was actually somebody in the house, like a 78-year-old woman from in Largo there. And I guess there was tons of debris that was in the house that fell on top of this woman. And remarkably, she came through with just minor injuries. She was okay. But imagine that the house was totally picked up and put on its side, and then it fell back in place after it was like that for a few minutes. Just an incredible story in Largo. But I asked that because you're not far from that area.
No, I remember. I think it was I want to say that was Tuesday or Wednesday night. I can't remember which night it was.
Yeah.
I think it was Wednesday night. It was pretty gnarly over here. We got some pretty bad rain and wind, and I think there was 2 tornadoes actually touched down not that far away from us.
But Betts Fishing Center came through it unscathed?
Oh, yeah, always.
All right. That's good to hear. That's good news because we don't want to lose our fishing center. That's for sure. That's the first thing I thought of when I heard the area there. I said, boy, I was just there because I stopped over there on Tuesday to celebrate your birthday with you.
Yes, I appreciate it. It was a good day. Even though I had to work, it was a good day for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Happy birthday.
Well,
Thank you.
Jesse, tell us about Betts Fishing Center. You're the first fishing supply company we've ever endorsed here on the home team. And we're just thrilled at the partnership we have with you. And I know you get a number of people that come by from the home team. And it's really a complete facility. You have everything you could even imagine.
Pretty much. I mean, if you want to start fishing, whether you're new to fishing or if you've been fishing for a long time, we pretty much have a little bit of everything, ranging from freshwater to saltwater, offshore, inshore, you name it. We pretty much have it here, and I kind of get you rigged up and ready to go for sure. And
the nice thing about it is you've got some knowledgeable people, including yourself, that if somebody says, hey, this is the kind of fishing I want to do, what would you recommend? Or what kind of line do I need? Or what's the difference between saltwater and freshwater fishing? You have knowledgeable people there that can really guide you to a smart purchase.
Yeah, exactly. Everybody that's here is a fisherman. They've all been doing it for a long time. Freshwater, inshore, offshore, you name it. Pretty much everybody has a pretty good knowledge on what someone would need if they want to do a specific type of fishing.
Yeah, and very knowledgeable people. Give us your location and your hours as well, Jesse.
Yeah, so we're in Largo. We're off of Almerton Road on Starkey. It's the address is 8926 126th Avenue North, and that's Largo, Florida, 33773. And we're open 7 days a week, 9 to 6 throughout the week, and then 9 to 4 on Sunday.
All right. Very good. Well, we appreciate it. I want to get your opinion on something we've been talking about on the program today. Yeah. And that is, if the Rays are successful to make it to the playoffs, and they're a playoff team right now, and let's say they go to the American League Championship Series or the World Series, where should the games be played? Should they be at Steinbrenner Field or go to a larger venue like Miami, Atlanta, or Houston?
I mean, it'd be cool to have them at Steinbrenner Field for sure, but I just don't think the capacity is going to be able to take in everybody with the media for a playoff game or a World Series game. Shoot, I mean, I guess Miami would probably be my choice if I had to pick between any other ballparks, but I kind of want to wait till we get closer to that time and hopefully make it to the playoffs and not jinx it.
Yeah, exactly. But you got to prepare too. And you got to, because we had Steve Carney, a Rays insider, on this morning, and he said about 7,500 tickets are allocated every year to Major League Baseball. So the commissioner and all the different owners and muckety mucks that get to come in, 3/4 of the seats at Steinbrenner Field would go to the league.
Yeah, so we'd have to definitely go to a larger park. So I'd probably say Miami would probably be our best choice.
Yep.
All
I
right.
would agree with that too.
Well, Jesse, we thank you so much for your support of the home team. We love sending customers out there. And again, if you are looking for a place, whether you're an expert fisherman or just beginning or somewhere in the middle, they can take care of you at Betts Fishing Center, just south of Almerton Road on Starkey Road. And you'll be able to find them there. And how late are you open today and tomorrow? And again, give us your normal hours.
Yeah, so today we're open till 6 o'clock. Tomorrow, Sunday, it's 9 to 4. So it's throughout the week, Monday through Saturday, 9 to 6, and then Sunday, 9 to 4.
And is there a website that people can check out?
Yeah, if you guys want, you can go to our website. It's customfishing.com. It has all of our information on there, address, phone number, and hours. And, of course, just a little briefing on everybody that works here and all the brands that we carry.
And the first person you should check out is Jesse Wright. Check out his credentials. I'm friends with you on Facebook, Jesse, and I marvel at the fish that you catch and hold up. You had a 5-pound, what was it, a 5-pound bass that you caught?
Very nice.
Yeah, I got a 5-pounder a couple of days ago. It was pretty nice, but most time inshore saltwater is my thing. But I do enjoy doing a little bass fishing from time to time.
All right, very good. Well, again, thanks so much. We appreciate you.
Yeah, thanks, guys, for the call, and have a great weekend.
All right,
Thank you.
appreciate that.
Take care.
Well, we have a winner.
We got a winner.
As far as the
right.
first ever sponsor, and both David and Don got it correct, which means that David wins the contest for the second month in a row because he and John were tied with correct answers. So, David, congratulations. It was actually the Seminole Bingo that was the first sponsor, if you remember, and it has evolved into the Hard Rock Casino.
Yes.
But who can forget Bingo Bob?
Yep.
And he was the guy that I went to the studio with, and it was locked, and we went and had breakfast instead. But Bingo Bob, who's no longer with us, I still talk to his son Chris a lot, but Bingo Bob was the first ever sponsor of the home team. And that story, I don't know if you remember this or not, Jason, but the Lightning used to have a contest during intermission called Scoro.
I remember you told me, yeah.
Yeah, and the idea was there was a very small hole. They'd cover up the goal except for a very small hole that a puck could just barely fit through.
Mm-hmm.
And you had to do it from like center ice. From the red line, you had to take a shot. And if you got the puck through the hole, you win a car. And of course, they had an insurance policy on the contest, so that if somebody did do it, the insurance would pay for the car that the person would win. Well, one night, a contestant went there and he shot the puck, and it went into the hole and stopped. And it turned out that the puck did not cross the red line, which, as you know, in hockey, if the puck does not cross the red line totally, it's not a goal.
Oh.
So the puck disappeared from vision because it went into the hole, but it stopped with this back end of the puck still on the red line. So for insurance purposes, the person could not win.
Oh.
And the crowd just let poor Bingo Bob have it. And Bingo Bob became public enemy number one as far as Lightning fans were concerned. But and then it was just kind of a joke. Anytime he would come out on the ice, people would immediately start to boo. Yeah. And that went on for years. I mean, he was literally booed for years after
what a tough
that.
one that is.
And he got to the point where he liked it, and he would put his hand up to his ear, like, okay,
well,
I'm ready.
The commissioner, like Roger Goodell with the NFL draft. Everyone boos him at the beginning. And they get to, it's part of the stick. Why not?
But I remember, I would introduce him. I'd say, and now from these Seminole Indian Casino, here's Bingo Bob, and boo!
Yeah, he comes like the heel in wrestling, basically.
Yeah. But that was quite a story. It really was. God rest his soul. Bob Shank was his name. Bingo Bob, and Congratulations, David and Don, on getting that right. Well, we need to hit a break. Anthony, please hold on. We want to get your thoughts on the Connor McFraud deal coming up with a
Well, hopefully if he
potential
does
for the
come to the
Lightning.
Lightning, he's not going to be a McFraud. He'll be a McDavid. He'll be the best.
What I want to find out is if Anthony will root for him if he does come to the Lightning.
Yeah.
And we'll
He'll root
find
for your
out.
team. I'm sure he will.
Well, I don't know. I'm not so sure. We'll find out about that when we come
Now,
back.
when he wear his jersey, though, that's a different question.
Oh, yeah, that's a big. I don't think that's even a chance. We'll find out. Anthony will let us know when we come back here on the Tan Talk Radio Network, the father and son windows and doors home team on FM 106.1, 102.3, AM 1340 and 1350. Plus, we are owed a call from John Bychek, and we will still get him on as soon as he calls back. More of the home team coming up on AM 1340 and 1350, FM 106.1, 102.3, and live on
Facebook.
This is the Tan Talk Radio Network.
When you talk about ice rink development in West Central Florida, one name stands alone: Iceman Development, LLC. Gordy Zimmerman, president and founder of Iceman Development, has played an integral part in the construction of the Ice Sports Forum in Brandon, the training home of the three-time Stanley Cup champion Tampa Bay Lightning, and the Advent Health Center Ice Complex, a multi-million-dollar facility boasting 150,000 square feet, and ranked the top indoor ice rink facility by both the USA Today and Yelp. Iceman Development is currently involved in creating yet another outstanding ice rink facility in Trinity and Pasco County. Iceman's company mission is to build community projects that impact the area both in quality of life and economic growth. For more information, visit icemandevelopment.com. That's Iceman with 2 N's, development.com. My favorite restaurant in all of Tampa Bay is J. Alexander's at the corner of Dale, Mabry, and Cypress, just south of I-275 in Tampa. The prime rib is to die for. Steaks are just as mouthwatering, and that's not all. Seafood like salmon, ahi tuna, shrimp, or crab cakes. Don't forget the salads and appetizers like my favorite, French onion soup, and top it all off with a homemade dessert. J. Alexander's in Tampa at Dale, Mabry, and Cypress, just south of 275. Open 7 days, 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. Reservations suggested but not necessary.
Looking to elevate your brand with custom apparel? Look no further than Athletic House, your one-stop shop for screen printing and embroidery in Clearwater. Whether you need embroidery on your polos or full-color logos screen printed on T-shirts, our expert team will bring your vision to life with precision and quality. Family owned and operated for over 20 years, we pride ourselves on the personal attention we give to all our customers. Making your team look good is our business. Athletic House. Call us today for a quote.
This is Paul Porter. You know, with the schedule I keep working for the Lightning and Buccaneers, a good night's sleep is a must for me. That's why I'm happy to tell you about the Original Mattress Factory. Their mattresses are hand-built right here in Tampa Bay with the highest quality at a very reasonable price. They aren't like these other mattress companies that'll jack their prices up every holiday and then do a so-called super discount during their so-called sale. You actually end up paying more than what the mattress is worth. The secret is with OMF, you're getting factory direct pricing and eliminating the middleman retailer. There's no high-pressure salespeople either. OMF is employee-owned, and they make it all about you. Double-sided mattresses, and they even email you when it's time to flip your mattress. Stop by their factory on Almerton Road in Clearwater and see for yourself, or visit one of their stores in Tampa or Brandon. There's nothing like a good night's sleep, and you'll get it with the Original Mattress Factory, and you'll get it for less. The Original Mattress Factory. Happy 60th birthday, Cambridge Christian School. Hi, everyone. I'm Paul Porter, voice of the Lightning, here to tell you about the exciting growth happening here at CCS. Coming this fall is our state-of-the-art 45,000 square foot high school and STEM lab. For over 60 years, Cambridge Christian's award-winning academics, athletics, and the arts has been changing the way you think about Christian education. Visit us today at ccslancers.com. After a car accident, there are many questions that you need answers to. Who pays for my car repairs? Who pays for the medical bills? What about my lost wages? And more. The personal injury law firm of Pernick, Caulfield, Averill, and Noyes has been answering these questions for their clients for nearly 70 years. Since 1955, they've been a voice of the injured in the legal system. As one of the longest established law firms in Tampa Bay, Paranek, Caulfield, Averill, and Noyes is here to answer your questions. Listen to their live call-in radio show on this channel every Tuesday evening from 5 to 6 p.m. or call them at 727-796-8282 or visit them at voiceoftheinjured.com. Offices Clearwater, non-attorney spokesperson. If you suffered damage from either or both Hurricanes Helene or Milton and are in need of some new windows or a new door, FAS Windows and Doors is the place to turn. Locally owned and operated, they can get you the best possible products at the best possible price. Right now, they're offering a $100 rebate on all windows and a $200 rebate on all doors. Financing is available with no payments, no interest, and no money down for 24 months. Just go to their website, faswd.com. That's faswd.com to schedule an appointment and check out their inventory. It pays to shop local and to go to a company that stands behind both their products and their service. Tell them you heard about them on the Home Team with Paul Porter, and they'll take special care of you. There when you need them, FAS Windows and Doors, faswd.com.
Now let's get back to the home team with the arena voice of the Tampa Bay Lightning and press box voice of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Paul Porter.
Well, we called back to see if Jesse could talk about the Connor McDavid trade, and I think he is certainly in favor of it, bringing a guy like that to the Lightning. But Jesse is pretty busy out there at Betts Fishing Center, so we'll let him stay with his customers. We understand that. But
someone who's not as enthusiastic about it.
Yeah, he's joining us next, and that is our good friend Anthony. Anthony, thanks for holding. You're on the home team, the father and son Windows and Doors home team.
Hey, good morning, fellas. First of all, I listened to the Panthers radio broadcast.
Hang on, Anthony.
Something's with the reception, Anthony.
Yeah.
It's almost like it sounds like the speaker is going off.
The tornado has already gone by. You can come out of the storm shelter.
There's something with the connection. You check the phone.
Okay.
There you go.
That's better.
Much better, yeah.
Okay. Well, so I listened to the Game 6 Florida Panthers radio broadcast, and I have something to 2 points to argue against. They quoted French Hero. The Lightning quoted him when we won the second.
Hey, Anthony.
Yeah, it's doing it again.
Can you call us back? We're really having a hard time hearing you.
Okay. How's this?
It's still there a little bit.
Go ahead and try that.
Okay, I'm going to speak a little louder. The Panthers kind of equated their championship to the Lightning in 2004 when they quoted French Hero, and our guys kept saying, we'll win this game and we'll walk together forever. I remember they kind of took that from French Hero from 1974 with the Philadelphia Flyers. But second, they equated and they kind of upped the ante, saying that their championship win in Game 6 was a little above Tampa Bay's win in the back-to-back, and I can't accept that because Tampa Bay won that 2020 in the bubble, which was difficult for the players to be separated from their loved ones.
Mm-hmm.
So there's no way they can compare that. Now, and Jason, you couldn't be more in error. I will never cheer for that guy.
Okay.
And I will definitely not wear his jersey because I'm not used to wearing jerseys with names on them. I wear my Lightning jersey, the original logo on it. Let me point out something. In last season, in that final game, in Game 7, when they were getting thrashed by the Panthers, you see McDavid trying to booster his players that are on the bench. Dude, you're the best, quote unquote, the best player in hockey, and you're seeking your players to make you look good. And then what did he do in Game 6 against the Panthers? He scored one goal in Game 5, and his body's working the regular season. Okay, you can say that it's good, but in the playoffs, the guy's invisible, and we're gonna trade Boyd.
Well, I would also point out Kucherov was invisible.
Kucherov the last couple of years has been invisible too.
Well, but he got us to the playoffs. He did it. These guys accomplished something for the Tampa Bay Lightning and the Tampa Bay in the playoffs that McDavid hasn't done in the 2 seasons in the playoffs. I mean, Gretzky in the fourth or fifth year in Edmonton, his career with Edmonton, he won a Stanley Cup. This guy's been with Edmonton since 2015. Where's the cup, McBride? Where's the cup?
Yeah, but I also got to say, Anthony, players, individuals don't win championships, teams do. And sometimes it is possible for a great player to be on a team that's just not the best team. And you can't do it all on yourself. So, there's that factor too. And it did take players like Michael Jordan a very long time. Michael Jordan won his first championship. I believe he was 27 or 28. Took LeBron James a while to win his first. Took Peyton Manning a while before winning his first. So other great players, it's taken a little while before they've won it. And some of the best of all time, like a Dan Marino, has never won. Ted Williams never won championships.
But look he had Draisaitl, he had Bouchard, he had Nugent Hopkins. These guys were scoring, and McDavid was passing the puck. I don't get it. You're supposed to be the best player. I mean, if you look at Crosby, the guy takes the initiative to shoot the puck. This guy is passing the puck. I just don't get it, man. You're the best player supposedly in the league, and yet you're not accomplishing anything when it's most in vital moments for your team. And yet Breezewater's going to trade one of our. I mean, Kucherov and Point complement each other. Kucherov is pretty much empty without Pointer out there, and we're going to let one of these two guys. I just don't. I don't know. I cannot rationalize that. I'm sorry.
Well, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. We got to move along, Anthony. We have a break, and Matt is radioactive now. He's actually glowing over there on the other side of the screen.
Well, I thought it sounded like the drum session.
I'm not sure what that was.
So the beat's going on. It was like a song going on. We could put some nice lyrics to that.
I thought maybe there was some kind of a bomb or something with the. But Matt's glowing, so I can tell you that. But we had to take a break from that phone line. We need to hit our final break, and maybe we'll hear from John Bychek when we come back. We hope that he's able to call us. More of the home team coming up here on the Father and Son Windows and Doors TAN Talk radio network that goes all the way to the space shuttle and back. Here, AM 1340 and 1350, FM 106.1, 102.3. We're going to try and deactivate Matt during the break, and back with more of the home team here on the TAN Talk Radio Network and Facebook
Live.
This is the TAN Talk Radio Network.
If you suffered damage from either or both Hurricanes Helene or Milton and are in need of some new windows or a new door, FAS Windows and Doors is the place to turn. Locally owned and operated, they can get you the best possible products at the best possible price. Now, right now, they're offering a $100 rebate on all windows and a $200 rebate on all doors. Financing is available with no payments and no interest and no money down for 24 months. Just go to their website, faswd.com. That's faswd.com to schedule an appointment and check out their inventory. It pays to shop local and to go to a company that stands behind both their products and their service. Tell them you heard about them on the home team with Paul Porter, and they'll take special care of you. They're there when you need them. FAS Windows and Doors, faswd.com.
Beach Dogs Friday are back this summer. On the last Friday home game of the month, the Clearwater Threshers become their alternate identity, the Clearwater Beach Dogs. Presented by Veterinary Emergency Group. Beach Dog Fridays are dog-friendly, and each dog ticket benefits a local pet charity each month. Bring your pup to play on the berm, eat a hot dog, and maybe meet our bat dog, Lucy May. Dog tickets are available for purchase in person at the Baycare Ballpark box office. All other tickets are available at threshersbaseball.com. One of the questions I'm often asked is, how do you do it? With my busy schedule of working for the Lightning, Buccaneers, and the home team, I need to be in very good health. One person I have to thank for keeping me in good health for years is Dr. Troy Stirk of Stirk Family Medicine. He's helped me keep my blood pressure in check, my heart running smoothly, and an overall healthy feeling that is confirmed by my lab results. If you're looking for a good family physician, I heartily recommend Dr. Troy Stirk at Stirk Family Medicine. You can reach his office at 813-264-7922. That's 813-264-7922. I'll tell you, Dr. Stirk is fantastic, and I'm sure you'll feel the same way if you become one of his patients. So now that you know my secret to staying healthy with a busy schedule, it's your turn. Call Dr. Troy Stirk at Stirk Family Medicine, 813-264-7922.
For the first time ever, the home team is endorsing a place for all of you fishermen. And the winner is Betts Fishing Center on Starkey Road, just a half mile south of Ulmerton Road in Largo. Betts, that's Betts, is open 7 days a week from 9 to 6 Monday through Saturday and 9 to 4 on Sunday. Everything you need from clothing to AFCO and skinny water culture to Shimano and Daiwa reels. They also do repair of your equipment. Betts Fishing Center on Starkey Road, just a half mile south of Ulmerton in Largo, and online at customfishing.com.
10 years ago, my wife and I started a nonprofit ministry to help victims of domestic violence called Reach Out, Speak Out. Would you consider a donation to help our ministry? If you'd like to join our auxiliary board or just be a friend to Reach Out, Speak Out by helping with your time, talents, or treasures whenever you're available, please contact us by visiting reachoutspeakout.org. Please send your donation to Post Office Box 4979, Tampa, Florida 33677, 5013C number 47163. 0804. Much like the weather, your life could change at the drop of a hat. Don't be caught unprepared. You don't know what will happen tomorrow, but no matter what happens to you, you can make sure your loved ones are provided for with a life insurance policy from Auto Owners Insurance. Meet with a local independent agent and secure a policy now to rest easy knowing you're protecting the ones you love. Visit Vermost Insurance in Tampa Bay today at vermost.com.
The Florida State Fairgrounds is home to so much more than just the fair that runs every February. Concerts, trade shows, conferences, and competitions are all just a few of the things you'll find at the Florida State Fairgrounds and Mid-Florida Credit Union Amphitheater all year long. For the very latest information and schedules, visit floridastatefair.com. The Florida State Fair and so much more, all happening at the Florida State Fairgrounds and Mid-Florida Credit Union Amphitheater. We'll see you at the Florida State Fairgrounds.
Did you know that Cambridge Christian School Athletic Department was honored with the Kerry McDonald Award as the 2A Athletic Program of the Year for the second consecutive year? The CCS Lancers have had 71 district championships, 21 regional championships, 5 state championships, and 37 Final Four teams. Over 200 of our student athletes have signed to play at the college level, and one has joined an NFL team. Visit us today at ccslancers.com.
Time for more of the home team. Here again are Paul Porter and Jason Alessi.
Welcome back to the home team, and we have good news as far as Matt is concerned. He has been deactivated, and he is no longer glowing from that last phone call. So that's certainly...
Put the Geiger counter on him. So.
Yeah, we need him here at the Tan Talk Radio Network for future programs coming up. So we want to make sure that he's okay. He was getting a little green, And now that's good that he's okay.
I'm telling you, though, but we could have put a song to that. It had the beat. It had the beat in the background.
Yeah.
It's interesting. I don't know. Something was with the phone, but it happens.
It happens.
We
That's
never
right.
know with no cell phone.
Well, he's been trying to get through the whole show, and we finally have reached out. We actually called him to make sure that we could get him.
Better late than never.
John Bychek is our final caller of the day. John, thanks for joining us on the home team.
Well, thanks, Matt. Look, if anybody's messing around with Matt, I know some folks that can help out.
Okay. All right.
Hey, you guys were talking about, I didn't hear anything about Connor McDavid. Are y'all kind of...
yeah, we've been hitting that pretty heavy
it's
today.
the rumor mill about that.
What do you think about potential trade, and what would you be willing to give up, John, if anything?
Well, we don't have any draft picks. We can't give draft picks.
That's true.
That's not... I don't know. I think you package a couple young guys like Cirelli. I don't want to mess with... I heard a first caller a little while ago talking about Kucherov or Point, but both those guys are integral pieces to the puzzle down here. I think losing Stamkos was probably as good a fit as we could have with a superstar leaving, but Eichel came in and did a great job. But I just don't know if you give up Kucherov or Point. Maybe you give...
You have to give up something to get something.
Yeah,
though.
but to get a player like McDavid, you're going to have to give up either one of them, I'm sure.
Well, I say you go down to Cirelli or Chernak or somebody like that that's got a couple years left on him, But Hagel and Point, Kucherov, those guys are just too much of the program.
Of course, you mentioned Kucherov might veto the trade if he's allowed to do that, like you said.
Of course. Well, I want to talk a little bit about the All-Star game. I'm heading to Atlanta next month.
Okay,
good.
I think it's a farce that several of our... What's going on? Good.
Yeah.
We're on the back patio and people are yelling at us from the golf course.
Yeah, that's all right. Tell them we said hello, too.
I will. I don't waste my time talking to them. We're getting ready for Frankfurters and fireworks. I think Paul has joined us in the past.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
But, the Rays, Aranda should have been there. I think Caminero should be there. And I think Brandon Lau, the possibility he could get there. But I think Brandon's playing for trade deadline. I think they're using him as bait for the trade deadline. I think he's got the biggest contract out of those guys. So him and Taylor Walls, in my mind, are going to be on the trading block by deadline.
I gotta ask you about that, John. I mean, given how well the team has been doing, do they even look? I mean, unless they're looking to add on, I don't know if you want to trade, give away anyone.
Well, they're playing well right now. But if you notice, Brandon Lau took a day off. Back in the day, I think I texted Paul something about pitch count. These guys, they want to play every day. And I think you look at Brandon Lau, he's really happy here. He's streaky. He's not done anything in the playoffs. I think the Yankees could use a second baseman. You get either prospects or something else. We've got a lineup. When you bring Hop Song Ken back or Kim back, what do you do with Walls? Cabrero's not hitting at the plate at all.
That's true.
So, as a relief pitcher, and he gave up 5 or 6 runs. But we got a young squad. Let's sign them to decent contracts and let them play. The pitching's been outstanding, but in my mind, Lau and Walls are on the trading block.
Well, to have either Kim and Walls or Kim and Lau up the middle is a pretty good defensive combination there.
Yeah, but I think Kim can play second base if I'm not mistaken.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So if we give it Lau or Walls, I think Walls is playing for the contract right now. He's actually been on a little bit of a tear hitting.
He has,
Kind of stepped up there. He goes, I may lose my spot when this kid comes back.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see what happens. But the pitching's been outstanding. And I think that's a little aberration last night, but otherwise the pitching's been outstanding. And I think the thing that worried me, and I mentioned it last week, I remember I called in last week, we talked, where are they going to play the playoffs? Let's say the Rays make a deep run. Where are they going to play? They're not going to play in Steinbrenner Field. MLB won't allow that. So it's got to be somewhere neutral site or remote.
Yeah, I mean, the most likely scenario we've been talking, I think, is Miami. It's in state. You've got a roof over your head, a retractable roof to protect you from the weather elements. I mean, if the Rays are going to travel at all, that would probably be the best case that they could go to.
Something that occurred to me, John, is if the Braves can turn things around and make it to the World Series, and they played the Rays, could they have the entire World Series in Atlanta?
That'd be bad, I think.
That's a possibility. I mean, if they turn it around, I think I don't want to talk too much about the Braves on the home team sports show, but the Snedeker seems to have lost the clubhouse. They've got some challenges with injuries and whatnot. So Hank and I are pretty excited about going up for the World All-Star game, So we'll see what happens. But that's a possibility, too. I think Jason mentioned that last week.
Well, we got to let you go, John, but congratulations on making it to the All-Stars.
All right. Take care, sir.
All right. He's an all-star fan. Yeah. That's for sure. Well, we want to thank everybody for joining us today. Steve Carney and also Jesse Wright for joining us on the program today. It's been a lot of fun. We've had some interesting things happen today, and we remember Bingo Bob from years back. We'll talk to you next Saturday at 9 o'clock on the Father and Son Windows and Doors Home Team, AM 1340 and 1350, FM 106.1. 102.3 and Facebook
Live.